What was it like to be back? And did you feel like in any way it was a transition to coming back on the court? Because your numbers certainly look like it was effortless.
Yeah, I didn't know. 'Cause, this is my longest I've been without playing basketball. So just I didn't know how, especially coming off the bench, not playing the first quarter, and then having to stay warm and do all the things necessary to go out there and be my best. I just had to go out there and just play with confidence and do what I do and not think about anything. And it took me a little bit, but it's just basketball at the end of the day, and something that I love doing.
Brian Lewis with the New York Post.
Hey James, welcome back. As
Hey,
you point out, you've never really had an extended injury of this sort. I mean, considering how long you were out and how little experience you have coming back from lengthy layoffs, are you surprised at how quickly it kind of came back to you and you were back in the flow of things?
not really, not to like brag or anything, but I'm really good at this game. I study the game. I'm very unselfish. I take the game and I play it the right way every single night. So I don't try to do anything that I can't do or anything that doesn't benefit our team. And if that mindset right there keeps me in a really good place.
Malika Andrews, ESPN.
James, you have such a stark impact on this team's ability to win. They are, the numbers just say you guys are so much better when you're in the lineup. I'm wondering what sort of pride you take on that ability to come in, have that immediate impact, even when you've had a layoff like this.
Just I know I can score the basketball, but I take pride in getting guys involved and letting guys be involved in offense, and that way defensively we can all be locked in and just a lot easier. And so I want everybody to get their shots, whether they're rolls to the rim or 3-point catch and shoots or whatever the case may be, or just get an opportunity to get a shot. And that's something that I've been doing throughout the course of my career, especially when I was in Houston. So from obviously Kevin and Kai, going to get their shots whenever, however they want, but my job is to get everybody else on this roster easier opportunities. And throughout when I was sitting out, I had multiple conversations with Steve on our offense and kind of putting myself in position to be successful, and that means getting guys better shots. So it's something that we still continue to work on, and these next 2 days that we have between games, and then that week after our last regular season game is very, very vital to our success in the sense of offensively and defensively being on the same page.
And then Steve has sort of reiterated to us over and over again that while he is sort of could go either way with you playing before or not, he wants to bubble wrap you and make sure you're good for the playoffs, that you've reiterated it's important to you. When you went out there, did you feel that? You're like, oh, yes, I needed this before the playoffs? Or
Of course. Preseason is one thing, regular season another level, postseason is an entire another level, and then it gets, the levels increase as you, go different rounds. So, for me, I wanted to get out there and just be on the court, for my teammates and let them feel my presence, and then also get my conditioning and my win back up to where I'm able to compete and be effective on both ends of the ball for an extended period of a game.
Greg Logan with Newsday.
James, you mentioned that you took a while to get going. It seemed like you only took 2 shots in the final minute of the first half, and then you hit all 6 in the second half. It seemed like you didn't really want to drive in the first half the way you normally do. What changed in the second half to make you more comfortable?
I just had to get used to the game again. It took me a little bit to get used to somebody guarding me and fans in the arena. I was basically in rehab and, locked away for a month. So it felt good, man, just to give my teammates, encouragement and getting them going. You see Landry, it's 8 guys in double figures. Like, that's Brooklyn Nets basketball. That's what we love to see.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, James, you mentioned getting some of the other guys involved, not named Katie or Kyrie. Just you and Nick seem to play really well off each other, and you were looking for him last night. Just what do you like about that pairing with him out there?
He's very athletic. He reminds me of Clint in the sense of very athletic, very mobile, can finish, very athletic, and just, smart and listen. those guys listen, and I'll try to do my best to put them in a position to be successful. But not just Nick, you know, you look down the roster, Bruce, Landry, Jeff, Blake, just try to get guys involved. Even Katie and Kai try to make their jobs a little bit easier. If I can make their jobs a little bit easier, you know, it's difficult for teams to guard us. Not to mention, I can still score the basketball a little bit too.
Brian Mahoney, AP.
Hey, James, a long time since you were off the bench in an NBA game. Do you even remember what your like routines were? Did you do whatever they were tonight, or was it you've forgotten by now what the heck you used to do?
I forgot what I was doing as a starter. Definitely I forgot, but that 6-man role, I've mastered that as well. You know, I got an award for that role. That role is easy. Come in and impact the game. You know, do whatever it takes to win, whether it's defensively or offensively. You know, so but that's my role no matter what. Especially on this team is not necessarily scoring, you know, all the time when I don't need to. You know, communicating, being the leader on the floor, making sure guys are in their right positions defensively. And these last few games we've been better.
Last question, Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey James, welcome back. You had that what do you call it, crossover step back and one in the second half, and you kind of hit a little dead smooth after that. Is it fair to say that's kind of like a welcome back moment for you?
I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm just happy to be back hooping again, man. It's basketball. I don't take it for granted at all. Like I love being out here and just trying to compete, you know, with my teammates. So that was my little swag dance. You know what I mean?
Thanks for your time.